What a time to be a cryptocurrency trader. Crazy moves on the markets, golden October, but are we in for a new all-time high soon? Stay tuned and find out on today's episode of That Crypto Show. Welcome back. So, before we start guys, as always, do me a favor, leave us a like, subscribe to the channel, that way we can continue to make great videos like this for you for free. Thanks a lot, very much appreciated. So let's have a look at the market. What's going on currently? Crazy moves the last days, really, I must say. This is always the type of move you are waiting for when you are either holding cryptocurrencies or you are trading cryptocurrencies, at least if you are trading them on the right side, being long this time. So let's have a look what really happened there. And maybe you remember last week I did an episode of That Crypto Show where I said something to the likes of, hey, I kind of feel it in my bones. There is something, bound to happen in the cryptocurrency markets, either a large move really with a lot of momentum to the upside or downside. Back then I said, my opinion, probably to the upside due to the very fearful sentiment at that time. I told you back then to use stop buy and stop sell orders. Well, if you've proceeded with that, you should be around about $3,000 to $4,000 in profit now. So really worthwhile, I think, watching That Crypto Show. All right, guys. So let's maybe have a look what happened here over the weekend, and you can really see here already on the 30th of October, on the 30th of September, of course, we had this nice upward move already, which led us into this area again, into this trading zone between 42 and 45,500 US dollars. And then on the 1st of October, we saw some major buying, really with a lot of volume taking place. Looks like somebody with deep pockets, either, through like around about $1 billion US dollar there on the market. What we don't know, of course, was that somebody that really wanted to buy Bitcoin, or was that maybe a very large short position that needed to be liquidated because that position got caught in the wrong side or on the wrong side of a market. That we don't know, but really a lot of volume, which always is a good indication that a move is, not going to be just a short-term move, but a long-term move. And what we really could see here is that we consolidated a little bit around the area of 48,000 just to go higher then, and now over 50,000. A little bit of weakness this morning. Market tried to pull back to the 50,000, but this acted really as a good support here. In the on-chain metrics, you can see again when this neutral zone we had here between 42 and 45,500 has changed again to light support, because you see a lot of short-term traders that entered around there now being in profit and holding potentially onto their profits again. And sentiment has, of course, again flipped to the opposite, not yet in the extreme greed sentiment there, but we are well on the way there. So at the moment, everything's still good. Once we enter this extreme greed sentiment above 75, you gotta be a little bit cautious again, because the market could pull back then a little bit. So let's have a bit of a look really what is going on under the hood there currently. And when I say under the hood, I of course mean what is going on the blockchain with the on-chain metrics. And one thing really I saw on the latest report from Glassnode is this graphic about the so-called NUPL, net unrealized profit and losses. So we are at the moment, we ditched off this NUPL of 0.5, which means the unrealized profit is around about 50% of a market cap. 50% of a market cap in Bitcoin means around about 450 billion US dollars of unrealized profit. Now, this not necessarily already says something about where Bitcoin should be heading now, but if we look at what happened like the last times in the previous years when we had a formation like this, bouncing on off this 0.5, and the last times we had this was here in 2013 and 2017. And back then, when we had this formation that looked kind of like this is called a so-called fractal, by the way. Yeah, we had still the best to come for the market. So we had this large up move again here, 2013, 2014 to new highs, and the same in late 2017. And if history repeats itself, we are in really for a golden autumn, not only a golden October, leading us to really new all-time highs. And you might remember last week I drew this plan B targets for October, November and December into my chart. And if we see now this target of 63,000 for October, the minimum target is not that far away anymore. So we're talking about a move here of 22% roundabout, and then we are already at a new all-time high, or at least at the target of plan B. So that's not really far away anymore, and this really shows again how fast things can move really in the crypto sphere. So yeah, the Glassnode report here, really interesting. Highly recommend, guys, that you go and have a look at it. And another thing of information worth reading you can find in our weekly market report that is sent out to our clients once a week, totally free. A lot of information in there. So if you have not yet opened an account, it's really high time to do so. To receive this report once a week, you really just need to open an account. There you can find the links to open an account totally free down here in the information. By the way, we also have a great offer of a 50% deposit bonus for you at the moment. So, and just two things really out of this report is we saw that September on average is always a month that where the markets went down. And we saw exactly this again with -7%. October, on the other hand, on average, a month where Bitcoin goes up. Same in November and December, by the way, but let's focus on October first now. So October, usually on average, if we look at the time from 2011 to 2020, up by around about 13%. And these 13%, by the way, would lead us, if we take into account the close at around about 44,000 US dollars from September to around about 50,000 US dollars. So that is already reached the average, but that's just the average. You know, things can tip to the right and left, of course, of the average. So it's not, you know, out of the question there that we could go even higher or lower. Now, one thing, bear in mind, there's a lot of euphoria, of course, now in the market again. Everybody is at least long in, or is holding cryptocurrencies, and Bitcoin is, of course, happy about this move. But we still have this zone of really strong resistance up here between 53,500 and 59,000. This is the zone where between March and May, investors bought Bitcoin that are still holding on to losses. They have not realized their losses, they are still holding on. So once we pierce into this area, once we pierce over this high we had back here at around about 53,000, expect to see, you know, at least some struggle. If by all means we should really go with a lot of momentum, so if something like we saw here should happen here again, that would be a tremendously bullish sign, and that would be almost, you know, I'm not going to say a 100% sign, but a sign with a very, very high confidence that we're going to see new all-time highs, because this really is a zone still where I personally expect to see some profit taking. But yeah, we don't know yet. Sometimes, you know, Bitcoin, of course, can surprise us as well. Another thing here to look at are the net in and outflows, or the net exchange net flow, so to say. We are seeing a currency exchanges at the moment, and this is really a bullish development again, because the illiquid supply of Bitcoin has been rising sharply. We see Bitcoin moving out of exchanges again. So the base of volume, the base of liquidity you are seeing at the moment really is a low hand. It still seems like we have long-term hodlers, so people that want to hold on to the Bitcoin for more than 1 year, scooping up those coins there. So really at the moment, everything seems to point into the direction of north. as long, in my opinion, as we don't see too high levels of confidence in the sentiment, so levels above 75, we are still looking good, and I'm think we are in a promising market segment. If that really goes into the segment of extreme greed, then it's the time to get a little bit cautious. But you know, as always, we are going to monitor this for you on That Crypto Show. So again, please leave us a like, subscribe to the channel, and please leave us a comment. I'm like super nosy to know if you were able to profit of this move upwards, if you are as happy as a lot of our clients are out there. Leave a comment, and see you again on the next episode of That Crypto Show tomorrow. Stay safe and remember to always use a stop loss. Bye bye.